So you guys, thank you in the health and wellness group. You guys, Tasha Scott. Representing you guys. So the Vision shirts is what came in the monthly boxes, which are full of gifts. She's got her prayer bracelet on. The earrings did not come in it, but I'm loving this top because it actually matches the green bracelet.
Not accessorized.
And well, I should have had a box. It's okay. Well, yeah, I'm gonna need you to accessorize.
Yeah.
And it came with a thank you card that literally had this cute little green. I guess I'm explaining to you guys. You guys know what was in the box. So I am excited because I generally pick out 3 people in the health and wellness classes each month to do a live interview with, to kind of share from your heart, share your health and wellness journey. But I chose Tasha, and I don't know that I chose Tasha. I think God chose Tasha. God like threw her in my brain and in my heart to interview today.
Thank you.
And y'all, when I read this book, I was like, oh my gosh, this woman has been stalking my life. Because I'm serious, everything in there, I was like, she gets me. She actually gets me. I am here. Yes, I give myself permission.
I'm honored. Like this right here, this is an honor. Seriously. Thank you, Casie.
No, I'm honored. So you guys, thank you so much for taking time to hear what Tasha has to share. And I'm excited.
I am too. Okay, so we're perfectly imperfect, right?
We are so perfect.
Okay, so I gotta check my microphone real quick.
No, go check
so y'all
it.
hold on, okay?
So you guys, we're gonna start. So now I'm talking to the health and wellness group here, and I think so. Hey Gina, hey Cindy, hey Shannon, and hey all of Tasha's friends. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Is it on?
Yes, it's on now.
Check, mic check.
Yes.
Okay, so Tasha, I want to start. Take us back to when you were a kid. What did your lifestyle look like as a kid on a fitness level? And what did your nutrition kind of look like?
Yeah.
I think that's important to kind of always start there.
Yes.
Because for me, I'm one of 8, 10 people in the house. You can imagine the amount of food that my mom had to cook for 10 people, right? Lots of food.
Yeah.
You eat everything on your plate. You do not waste food, right?
Yeah.
And we had pork chops and we had macaroni and cheese, and that's what we had.
All that.
Okay? So for me, as a kid, I saw my mom. It's not something she taught us.
Sure.
I saw her making this ginormous pot of spaghetti.
Yeah.
Like a loaf of butter bread for 10 people.
Yeah.
So as I got older, I was shopping and prepping food and eating the same amount of food I saw my mom cook.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Take us through that journey and where did that start for you?
So for me, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't grow up thinking about nutrition.
I didn't either.
I grew up in a single parent household, and we always had 3 square meals a day, and we always the kids sat at the table. It was 3 of us, my brother and sister. I was the middle child, and we just ate. And here's the thing: I always had a love affair with food. I always liked to eat, but I was
I think we all like to.
When I tell you that it didn't faze me how much I was eating, because when I tell y'all I was poor, literally I was so skinny. I was probably the skinniest one in the family, and I used to always, not in the family but at school, I got picked on for being skinny because that's how skinny I was. I'll even give you this: when I got married, I was a size 0, and I was in my 20s. So you can imagine being younger, people used to always tease me and say, girl, don't you ever gain weight? And it was always the older people. It was the older ones
that knew better.
Right. They'd be like, girl,
knew better.
You eat? What is wrong with you? And so I started developing a complex. Now, I didn't stop eating, because I love to eat.
Right, good thing, because you're withering away already. So
Right,
good,
right. I think my head was bigger than my body.
Can't even take it.
But I had a complex around my size and my shape. Even though I was skinny, people, because they put those words on me, I used to always try to overcompensate by dressing in bigger clothes. I would always want to dress in bigger shirts, bigger pants, because I didn't want people to see my real shape, because I got tired of being picked on. And then I remember even being in junior high, that's the age that,
Oh, it's the most impactful. You're
Right.
growing into who you are. You're realizing
Yeah.
other people's thoughts and comments.
Right.
And it starts dictating what you think about yourself.
Yes. And so for me, skinny was a cuss word. If you called me skinny, it was like you were cussing at me. And so I remember still to this day, I was walking down the hall and there was this guy that called me, this girl was walking down and we were on the same hallway and he called her my name and she said, "I'm not that skinny, B." And
no.
that was like, what did I do? Like all I could think of was, I can't help it. Like I'm eating as much as I can.
Yeah.
And I'm not gaining, I can't help it. And so I know a lot of people think that being skinny is like a blessing and all that, but it ended up being a curse for me. And it gave me a complex about how I saw myself. I never saw myself as pretty, attractive, or anything. I just saw myself as this awkward, skinny girl.
Because of the comments that were being made to you.
Absolutely.
You guys, who can relate to being thin and wanting to gain weight or wanting to dress? I feel, and there are more out there.
Yeah.
So if that's you, and then there are some, the majority, that's the opposite.
That's right.
That were told or thought. Maybe you weren't told, right? Maybe you didn't have an experience that Tasha had in school, but you were bigger, right? You were the other cuss word, fat.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
And we don't use the F word in here. And when I say in here, at NShape, it's not fat, it's unhealthy, right?
Yeah.
So I think people should really pay attention to choice of words. But those of you right now that think you're fat, here we have someone that thinks they're too skinny.
Right.
And she is trying to dress to be bigger.
Yeah.
You got to wrap your head around that for a second.
Yeah, I was trying to hide who I was and how I was framed and shaped and all that because I didn't want people to notice me. I didn't want people to see me. That sounds crazy, doesn't it?
It does sound crazy. But who can relate? You guys give us some tips. Who can relate? There's not one person in either one of these groups right now that does that's not hitting in the heart right now, and you're like, that happened to me, or that's happening to me right now.
Right.
So were you active?
Now, I was on the track team for a minute, so I did run. It wasn't anything consistent because my dad was in the military, so I moved around a lot. I never was at the same school, so I was also always the new girl.
Which was, did you almost feel like I get to start over?
I did in a sense until it was the same thing. If that makes any sense. I wasn't a popular kid in school. I was very, very quiet, like very quiet, very shy. So in a way it was, so I guess to answer your question about the activity, there was a school that I did join the track team, but other ways I was an introvert, and so I reverted in writing. I reverted all the emotions, the everything in writing, and that was my outlet because I could escape through the.
Do you remember writing about times of being called skinny? And do you remember that? Did you?
My writing, it was morbid writing. I wrote in fictional characters. I never wrote about myself, but I would always write about somebody else, and it was always about their pain, their struggle. And in a way, I felt like that was me crying out for myself because I didn't even know.
You were deflecting.
I was deflecting. I didn't know enough to even know this is what I was feeling. I just wanted to escape.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know what we know now when we're kids.
Absolutely.
Like not even a snippet of it.
No.
So fast forward, take us to we graduate high school.
Yeah.
When did you get married? When did the moment of your life happen of I've got to get healthy? And at any point, when did you gain weight? Did you ever gain weight? Because you look amazing now.
Oh, thank you.
And so take us on that journey. So Tasha, till she graduated high school, I'm sure after that, still thin, still like, did you ever kind of grow out of that until the moment of, you're like, okay, so I'm not skinny anymore. Maybe we should address this side of my body, right?
Right.
I know the story. So now we are maybe in your head.
Yeah.
Now I'm the fat girl.
Yeah.
Right?
In my head.
Yeah. We all know in our head, we are all in our own heads, which is why we're sharing this, because we need to get out of our own head.
That's right. So to be honest, I got married young. I got married when I was 23 years old. My dress again was I think the wedding dress was too big. They had to taper the dress for me. And I remember even somebody, I was living with the lady I was paying rent to, and she had pulled my lingerie out. She was like, "Girl, zero, really?"
Like, bless you.
Yeah.
Here's a cheeseburger before your wedding.
Exactly. But to be honest, I didn't start gaining weight until I got pregnant with my daughter. And I got pregnant with Mila, I think I was, oh gosh, I'm dating myself now. She's 12, so, and I'm 45 now, so what, you do the math.
Okay. So, yeah.
So this was 30.
So not till you got pregnant.
Right.
Did your body start to fill out?
Right.
And you're like, oh, this is new.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say this. I hope there's nothing but women watching this. There might be some men, but even up here, you know how we're always feeling like I felt like an inadequate woman because I was flat chested.
Right. Before
I didn't have any. Yeah. So when I got pregnant, I was like, oh, so this is what this is like.
Yeah.
And my body started filling out, and so people used to be like, oh, you got hips now, you know, all this kind of stuff, and so people started noticing. But to answer your question, I did not become conscious that I was unhealthy until it was around that time that all of the stuff that I'd experienced in my childhood, I had stuffed it, and I was a professional stuffer, but all of it started unraveling during this time. And after I got married, it was like the inner me started unraveling, and I couldn't really contain it. So it was like I had to go get help, professional help, in the form of counseling, because what was going on was I was an emotional wreck. I was still grieving over certain things that happened, and that's when I realized I was unhealthy. It actually wasn't the nutrition, it was the emotions that were the indicator for me. And that's actually, fast forward, when I met you in 2014. Can I tell that story?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Okay.
So at that, clearly, she's 12 now, so she was.
She'll be 13 next month.
Yeah. So 7, 6. Do the math. So when?
Yeah.
Okay. So share the story. In my head, I got to wrap my head of where you're at. You just had a baby, but really 6 years later.
Sure.
Kind of.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. So 6 years later, I started getting to a place where I wanted to die. I didn't want to die, but I didn't know why I wanted to live. I was just really in an existing place, and I was in so much pain, and it was emotional healing that I needed, but I didn't know how, because again, back then when I was younger, I didn't know how to articulate, I'm hurting, I'm in pain. But it started coming out in other ways. And this actually does apply to the nutrition, because I remember just binge eating, you know, candy. It'd be nothing for me to eat a box of donuts, pizza, you know, all that. I think it became just my coping.
Stuff and emotions.
Yeah, stuff and emotions.
Feed it for a second.
Yeah.
Once that wears off, now you got to deal with it again, because it's not going to go away.
That's right. And that's crazy. I haven't thought about this, Casie, but food was my drug of choice, you know? And that was my coping mechanism, because I could feel good with that ice cream, all of that stuff. So anyway, fast forward, going through the emotional pain, I actually reached out for help, and I got a counselor/life coach. She was the one that really held the mirror up to me and was like, who is Tasha? You know, and for the first time, I had to really answer the question, who am I and what do I want? Because I had been tolerating things, I had been settling for things in life, you know? And so fast forward, I remember thinking, I need to get it together. Like, she was helping me on the inside, but I was like, I'm not happy with who I've become on the outside. So I did a Facebook post one day, and I was like, does anybody know a personal trainer? I had tried to do different things on my own, and I did temporarily, but it was never any consistent commitment. You know, I didn't even run a marathon prior to meeting you, but it still was just like, it wasn't consistent. So people gave me this long list of names, and your name came up several times on the list on the Facebook post. And out of everybody that was named, you inboxed me. And it was on a Sunday, and it was right before church. You inboxed me, and you were so nice, so warm, so welcoming. So I was like, I want to go to her class. And so me and my friend Cicely came to your class, and this was back in 2014.
2014.
And that was when I started that was a year of awakening for me, because that was the year that I said, I need to get all of me together. Not just the emotions, not just the physical, but all of me. Because I started going back to your word vision, I started having a vision for a new me that far exceeded anything that I had ever been through. So it was, I know
that's good. No, I'm listening. I'm like, oh, sorry, there are people here. This is being recorded.
But going back to this word vision, that's what was happening. Was I feel like God was giving me a vision for the me that He designed originally. And it just so happens that what was affected was my health, my nutrition, my business, all of that stuff. And I needed the connections with the right people to help me to get where I needed to be.
Which was all God.
Yes, yes.
So Tasha, I want to kind of finish this story.
Yeah.
Fill in the gaps from now till coming back.
Okay.
And then I want to take them back to the first time we met.
Yes.
And how amazing God is on these monthly health and wellness classes, and how He'll unveil just enough to see if you really want something, or if you're really passionate about something, or if you're really in tune with Him.
That's right.
And if you're like just, connected, and are these the right people that I'm sending to you for me and you, vice versa?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you come in 2014. Can you kind of remember how long you stayed?
Yeah.
When you left, why you left, and then now that you're back, why you came back? Like, take us through that, and then I'm going to kind of backtrack a little bit.
Okay. So when I go all in on something, I am all in. Right. So I remember the first day.
Which sometimes could be, sometimes good, sometimes bad. I'm an all-in girl too.
Yeah. And so the first day, it was me and my friend Cicely. We came to your boot camp, and we were so gung-ho. Bless our hearts.
There's nothing wrong with being gung-ho. Go ahead.
Say how gung-ho we were. So we both were like, yeah, we're going to go all in. Had never been to a boot camp before.
That's right.
And we're like, yeah, we're going to do this. It was 5 a.m. So we're doing the boot camp, and we're like, yeah, this is good. Yes, we found our place, all this. So we were in the other room over there where Joelle's is now. And I remember we were doing all our different moves and stuff. And then next thing I know, I look back and I see Cicely and Richard was here.
Oh, goodness, yes.
Yeah. Richard was holding Cicely up because she was about to pass out or something. And I was like, girl, are you okay? Do you need me to go get the keys and take you home? And she was like, no, I'm fine. I'm going to just sit right here. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish working out. And so I go back to the other room.
If you're okay, I'm going to keep going. I love that.
And I go to do a burpee. And I went down and I came up, and all of a sudden I start feeling lightheaded.
Oh, no.
And I'm about to pass out. And I remember, I don't know who it was, but this person was saying, we got another one.
I'm not talking to this camera. I'm going to talk to this camera. Don't let the word boot camp or Casie or NShape scare you.
No.
No. It's okay. It happens generally on everybody's first day here. It usually is because they had not eaten.
Yep, that's what you asked.
They had not been hydrated days, weeks, months prior.
Right.
And they didn't pace themselves. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
I don't know. It could have been something I ate the night before too.
It could have been. It could have been.
Yeah.
All is well.
Yes.
They live.
Yes, we did. We did. We lived. And we came back. We came back. But I do remember you saying, "Have you eaten anything today?" And I was like, "Oh,
was I supposed to eat?" Yes, you are supposed to eat.
So lesson learned. And so I think I learned a lot about pacing yourself during that time.
That's
you know, that
that's
you
right.
don't have to go all in.
That's
you
right.
start where you are and you build your way up. Lesson learned.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yes, yes. So I came, and I don't remember how long I was coming. It was several months that I was coming, and it was working because I was losing weight.
Yeah, I remember.
I came to your very first nutrition classes that you were doing. I remember the notebooks. I still have my notebook. You know, so I remember.
I think I told you yesterday to pull them back out.
You did. You did.
So did you?
I didn't.
Sorry, I'm putting her on the spot right now.
I got to get it out of the garage or something.
Have you guys watched the video from last night? And have you pulled out your old notebooks? Just question mark, ... That's all. Let's go back to Tasha.
Okay, so I went through all of that. I remember you measuring me and everything, and I was losing weight, getting strong. And during that time, I was in the process. I was doing speaking and coaching. I was in my beginning phases of my business. And so it was really cool. We were kind of parallel in a sense because you were really building up over here. And I remember you knocking out walls and stuff. But that coming year, 2015, I remember saying, because the word commitment was really strong for me that year. And I said, I want to do a workshop series, and I called it the Commitment Series. And for me, for those of you all who don't know, I do life coaching, professional speaking, leadership training, development. So I've always been pro-woman, women empowerment, helping women to be everything that they're meant to be from the inside out. And the vision that I really feel like God gave me for connection was, this vision is bigger than you, and it's going to take more than you to reach these women. It's going to take you connecting and collaborating with others to really help the women be what they need to be.
And grow your vision.
And grow the vision at the same time. And that it was okay to connect with somebody else's vision, and it doesn't take away its collaboration over competition.
Ladies, support each other. I mean, I could go on and on about this. We'll do another whole live one day. Support each other. No one's trying to compete here. No one's trying to outdo each other here. All we're doing here is trying to lift, encourage, empower, enrich each other's lives.
That's right.
And you need to recognize when God sends somebody, there's something to learn from that person.
Absolutely.
And if your heart's not open to it, you're going to miss so much growth in your life and life lessons. I cannot wait to share how this has come full circle. It is, you and I know that it is the most amazing thing.
Absolutely.
So during this time, your growth, so Tasha starts out working on your health and wellness. Right. She's also working on her business.
That's right.
And her vision for where God is tugging on her heart.
That's right.
Where He knows she has a passion. She has been through things in her life. She has stories to share. She has words from Him, and He already has women for her to reach.
That's right.
Right? But in order for that to happen, He knows she's got to work on her health and her soul. And that's what these health and wellness classes are about. Like Tasha keeps saying, mind, body, spirit, everything. Okay. So I think it's neat how in that moment, I'm getting started. So you were 2014 coming here. 2013 is when I opened the physical location. But a few years before that is when I started at Millbrook with one person in a park. It's not my story to share. I'll share it another day. It's neat how He brought us together.
That's right.
Go. I'm going to stop there because now I have to share my part because it's beautiful. Oh my God, it's a beautiful story.
We had an iron sharpens iron relationship with each other. Ever since we first met, there was a synergy that we had. And I appreciated you because you have a gift that I need. Where you were strong, I was weak.
And we're vice versa.
You got what I'm saying?
Hands down.
And that was the neat thing. And I saw you in your beginning. Like, yes, I came a year later maybe, but
it was in the beginning.
Yeah, it was still the beginning. And so seeing you in your beginning stages blessed me and made me want to be more around you, not be you.
No,
you know?
yes.
And that's the thing that I think people don't understand is that you can be inspired by someone,
but not want to mimic them
Yes.
or be like them.
Right.
Tasha, thank you for saying that.
Yeah, because I don't want to be a fitness trainer, you know, but I need your gifts.
And I need your gift, and I'm getting your gift, and I'm receiving your gift, and we're getting to that story. It is amazing.
But I think that the connection, and I remember being at Zoe's, and
we had lunch.
Yeah.
And that's when we found out we were soul sisters.
Yes.
No, really.
Scott, and both of our last names are Scott.
Oh my God, just stop it right now.
And we both understood that we were in the business of transformation. Just different ways we were doing it, but we both understood that about each other. And so it was iron sharpens iron. So you really helped me. So fast forward, when it came time, my word for 2015 was commitment. And I knew that I wanted to do a series of workshops, one per quarter, where it was the first one was going to be commitment to a healthier you. And then it was commitment to financial success, commitment to connections. I forgot what the fourth one was, but every quarter I did one. And I'm like this: if something is blessing me and something is helping me, I want to share it. And so, Casie, it was a no-brainer for me to ask you to come to the commitment to a healthier you. I wasn't going to stand up there and teach it because I was still in a work in progress in that area, still am. But I needed an expert to come in, somebody who was living and breathing it. And you were the one that was in my circle that I was like, yes, Casie, she's the one.
But let me tell you, it wasn't to come lead a workout. It was to speak.
Right.
I'm not a speaker.
You say.
I did. Okay. 2015, 2014, I was not a speaker. And it's kind of funny that you brought that up, and I just made the connection. That's when I started my nutrition classes, and I used to do 2-hour nutrition classes where I had to speak to everyone. Not my strong suit. I have grown so much from that, and I remember when I first started speaking, I would get hot, I was sweating, I would mumble my words, I had no direction, I'm very ADD, and if you're not organized, ADD is a mess already. And how about this lady? This is God going, Casie can help you with your health and wellness, but this lady could really just mold you and teach you and push you out of your comfort zone. Here I am speaking, and I'm not a speaker. I remember telling my husband, Derek, so my friend Tasha asked me to speak. I don't know why. And I'm not exercising teaching, so I'm in regular clothes. Completely out of my element. Completely out of my element. I was sweating that day. I think I was hot. My ears were on fire. But I appreciated the confidence boost. That I did not know. The vision, that was not a vision of mine to speak. That was God's vision for me.
I hear you.
But he knew I needed the right people in my circle. He knew I needed the right people in order to grow and become my best. But I needed to learn from you too.
Man, it was reciprocal. It really was. And fast forward, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, that's where I wanted to take them now. So fast forward. So you stay about a year, I'm thinking.
It was about a year. I think what was happening though is my business started really taking off, and it was like I was coming to the workouts and everything, but then I'd be out of town speaking or I'd be here speaking, and things just really took off. It started growing, and so I remember saying, Casie, I just don't know because I think I was missing more classes than I was coming just because of my schedule. But you had planted such a good seed of health, nutrition, working out, that I was like, I think I'm going to go ahead and just do other things because of the way my schedule is wired. And that's when I stopped coming.
So did you continue working out?
In the beginning, it was strong, yes, because I was consistent in the beginning, not gonna lie. But I think it came to a point where I started tapering off, and it wasn't consistent anymore, if that makes sense.
Yeah, complete sense.
So, and then the nutrition, food has always been my weakness, because again, I like to eat. You know? And so, this was 2015. So yeah, it was hit or miss after I left. and things started tapering off. And then I just remember, fast forward, can I share this vision board right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me give it to you. So you guys, since it's called Vision, I love that Tasha shared this. You guys have heard of vision boards before. Tasha made a vision board. You made this in 2015 or 2016? Do you
Actually, this year.
This year? Oh,
This year.
come on.
That's why I got to tell you full circle. So, okay, so there was some years that were off, like from after I left here in 2015 all the way up until last year. I was off and on. I would walk outside, do the treadmill, elliptical, all this, just nothing consistent. I knew how to do what I need to do. Like I do like smoothie cleanses, or I would do different things. But again, it just wasn't anything consistent. You know, I was growing with the business, but I felt like there was like a digression when it came to me, right? So February of this year,
Just a few months ago.
yes. I was a speaker on a, went to the Bahamas, was on a cruise, and I was one of the speakers. And there was another speaker who actually did a vision board party for us. And she had these canvases, and it was so good, y'all. But she actually said, what do you want your life, what would your life look like by December 2019? Like, what is God downloading for you? Put it on your vision board, put it in a place where you can see it, and pray over it, and really manifest this thing, right? So one of the things, what does that say right there, Casie?
Healthy.
So one of the things that I put on my vision board was the word healthy. At a time that I probably wasn't doing anything, and I'm on a cruise ship too. Come on now.
We eat a buffet right now.
But I put it on there because I knew exactly what that meant when I put it on there. Healthy for me was, it is time to get back on track. And what I knew was, what I came into 2019 knowing, was that I felt like this year my word was shift. And I felt like God was saying to me, it's time for you to surrender to the shift. And what I heard was, you need to get back to the vision of where you started. So guess what? 2014 is when I started. 2014 is when I heard God say, for me, my mission, my assignment was to help people get free. And it was from the inside out. But because I got distracted, because I wouldn't say off course, because I was still doing things, it just wasn't to the best that I could do. Does that make sense?
Complete sense.
And what was happening, and this was a dangerous place for me, is people were applauding me in my mediocrity. And I knew there was more in me. So this vision board.
What can hold somebody back?
Oh my
Stop you in your tracks. This is as good as it gets.
Yes.
This is as far as I'm gonna grow.
Yes.
And not push past that.
Yeah. The only problem was, I couldn't get rid of the vision that he had planted in me. That was the
So you knew
thing.
there was still more work
I
to be
knew
done.
there was more. People were like, you're doing so great, Tasha. Oh my gosh, you're doing great. I want to be like you, all this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really?
Me?
This ain't it.
Like, yeah.
Like, y'all are applauding the wrong stuff.
Yes.
And I'm not knocking it.
No,
I'm not
you.
knocking
Yeah.
it.
You're
But
proud.
I'm grateful for the journey. I really am. But I was like, there's more in me. Like, if this is what y'all are applauding, y'all ain't ready.
Yeah, that's right.
So I was like, this ain't it. So again, this right here just helped me to see the bigger picture. I have things like my family on here. Leadership is something that's really big. Faith. And I really just wrote this. I put all this stuff to help me to see, even being debt free. I wrote this stuff. What does it say? Breakthrough. Next level. Productive. Yes. All
Progress.
of this.
I love it.
Yes.
Be who you are.
Yes. And it says here, God never gives you a dream that matches your budget. He's not checking your bank account. He's checking your faith. And so faith, I think my faith needed a jump start, a re-jump start again, just on the original vision that he implanted for me was help people get free from the inside out. And I also saw a bigger vision for training, to really have a whole training company that was really helping people to become leaders, personal growth, all of that stuff. So anyway, put this on here in February. Didn't do anything with it immediately, but every day in my bathroom, this is what I look at. I see this. the vision is before me.
Mhm.
And even on the back, it says about follow your heart, faith, and all this stuff. So fast forward again, I was looking at another boot camp, which I will not say the name for it. I was looking at another boot camp, and because I saw one of my clients was going, and she was posting her results and everything. So I reached out and I was like, hey, and I noticed they had a free trial and everything. And so she was like, yeah, you can do this and this. And I almost went until I got reminded, Casie. And literally, you came up, and I hadn't talked to you, I hadn't seen you.
No, I mean, I think we ran into each other at Zoe's or somewhere, maybe 4 times from when you left to coming back, right? Yeah.
Right. But I sent Casie a text, and I think I asked you about boot camp, and I was like, I'm coming back, because I was like, why would I go anywhere else? Like, this is who I
hit the person in front of me. I'm like, what? Tasha's got to come back. I was so excited.
Yeah. And so I didn't know you were doing the health and wellness class. I didn't find that out until the day that I showed up. Kwanzaa, I know Kwanzaa. So she was, we were, exchanging our hellos and all this stuff. And I think she said something about she was coming every day. And I was like, you're coming every day?
How do you come every day?
Right. How do you come every day? And she was like, yeah, you joined the health and wellness class. And so I started asking, and she was like, it actually starts today. And I was like, oh, the same day that I came back. And so that's when I came to you while I was there. And I was like, I want to sign up. And I did not know what I was signing up for, Casie. I did not know. I'm just thinking I need to get healthy. But I keep telling her, I said, this is spirit, soul, and body. Like, I feel like I am being rejuvenated from the inside out. I feel like even the words, like last month, imperfectly perfect, that was so fitting. This month, the vision, it's like, it's layer upon layer. And what you're doing is you're waking us up. And you don't even realize the depth. And then when you're doing your videos, girl, I think you had me crying on several of them. Because I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is what I've been missing. And I've been telling people this. I said, this is my therapy. Like, me coming to NShape, this is me getting me together. Like, I'm not worried about, like, I do coaching and I do speaking and training, but in the classes, I'm not focused on anybody but Tasha, and I feel like I'm getting stronger, and I feel like I'm getting back to, you say back to the basics. I feel like I'm getting back to the original plan that God had, because sometimes we can get so distracted with all
and we start muddying up the water, and we're like, but what if, and and yes, I am doing that. And really, when you stop and reflect, you're not.
No.
You gotta go back to the basics.
Yeah, you can't miss the foundation.
Cannot miss the foundation. Cannot miss the foundation.
Yeah.
So to full circle this.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Tasha comes to me to get healthy.
Yeah.
God inserts Tasha in my life, not knowing that 2 years ago, I had a vision and had already been doing nutrition classes, which was just all about nutrition. My videos was just all about broccoli and chicken. That's it. But 2 years ago, I had a vision of how I needed to transition the nutrition classes into what they are now.
Yeah.
Last September, so coming up on a year, I was trying to get together another nutrition class.
Wow.
And it didn't take off. For whatever, I know for what reason, but in the moment, I'm like, for whatever reason, it didn't take off.
Yeah.
And I know now. I didn't have the true vision of how God wanted me to do the nutrition classes.
Wow.
Not only did he not want me to call it a nutrition class, he wanted me to call it a health and wellness class.
That's awesome.
He didn't want me to do a 2-hour class to talk about broccoli and chicken and take everybody to the grocery store. It was amazing. I'm not saying those classes were not amazing and not impactful, but that's not where he wanted it to go. So you guys, visions are just flashes of of paths that we can constantly question, and we can constantly dismiss, and we can constantly put on the back burner.
That's right.
And in those visions are growth. And if you're not in tune with it, or if you're not surrounding yourself with the right people to somehow plant a seed to realize that it's a vision, it's a goal, it's a dream, a passion. I think they're all the same. I think the vision or dreams. Like we're not dreaming anymore, people.
Right.
You're never too old to dream. Remember when you were a kid, you guys? I remember when I was a kid, I had a vision, I had a dream of having my own clothing boutique one day.
Wow.
But he did not bless me with the dream or that vision until I did his work. It was NShape. It was blessing others and how to get healthy. We were just talking about this story, and I'm trying not to go off track and yell, but dang it.
Preach it, girl.
My vision was when I was a kid. It did not come to fruition until last year at 43. Just because you have a dream and a vision and it never comes to fruition, or it's not going fast enough, it doesn't mean it's not a dream and your vision or a purpose. It means there is work that you need to do for the kingdom and people and pour into people in order. And you guys, sometimes, and I don't want to burst your bubble, maybe your vision and your dream never comes to because it's yours, it's not his.
Or it's not about other people, it's helping other people.
It's not. So on this journey, I gotta drink some water on that.
Let me say this, Casie. You are so on it when you're saying this, because I believe God will give us visions in the circumstances that are total opposite of that vision.
That's right.
And I think he does that to give us hope for the journey.
That's right. That's right.
And sometimes,
and what she means by that, hope on the journey, because there are going to be some tough times. The road is bumpy. It is full of potholes and deep potholes.
That's right.
That will take you back. When you soar ahead, it's going to yank you back.
That's right. That's right. And hope for the journey, you need it, because when you're in your circumstances and you don't see growth, or you don't see anything beyond, and it could be good things that you're in. It doesn't have to be anything bad or tragic. You could be in a good place.
That's right.
But God be speaking to you about growth for your next level.
That's right.
And that's why he will speak to us through our dreams and our visions, because he is always growing us. There's always evolution for who we're becoming. And it's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
It's about the journey.
And so we're becoming in the process.
That's right. That's a beautiful one. Just because I know where I've been, I know where you've been, and then just reflecting and kind of backtracking on just our journey. How I'm health and wellness. You're the life coach. You're the motivational speaker. We're leadership
training.
Where God knew I needed to grow in. But Casie didn't know that. Why didn't he tell me that? Why didn't he make that vision clear? Because he's not going to. He needs you to figure it out.
That's right.
And I'm figuring it out.
And it's a beautiful thing. I say it's an inside out job. As a coach, I always tell people, my job is not to come alongside and tell you what your dream is, or tell you what your vision is. It's to go digging for treasure on the inside of you, because the answer is in us. But sometimes we can't see the answer because we've got too many distractions, or we're not just being still enough to listen, you know? And so I think it's a beautiful thing what you're doing, because there's so many people who don't dream anymore.
They don't know what that even dream. What? No. My dream. I mean, I just want to get up tomorrow and go to work. You know what I mean? Provide for my family, which that's a dream. That's great. That's great. That's a dream. But dreams are dreams. Dreams are life. Dreams are life. Dreams are it's life. It brings energy into us. So Tasha, it's neat. 2015. Fast forward to 2019. This past Saturday, did my first health and wellness conference. 2 years ago is when I had a vision of doing a conference, not a nutrition class, mind, body, spirit, and turning the nutrition classes into what they are monthly now.
Yeah.
Mind, body, and spirit. We do still talk about broccoli and chicken and calories and macros. That is important.
Right.
But what I realized that 2 years ago, before the actual vision like came to life and fruition, God had me working on me,
Wow.
mind, body, and spirit.
Wow. I love it.
So he has us working on what he sees us doing
Yeah.
before we even see it, before it even comes to life.
That's right.
So 2 years ago, I had a vision, but 2 years ago, he's like, it's going to take you 2 years.
Yeah.
Not just 2 years, because this is going to take me the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But in 2 years, Casie, in October of 2018, you're going to start your first monthly health and wellness classes, and this is what it's going to look like.
Wow.
Now, when you start it, you're going to know how to make it better. You're going to know how to grow it. You're going to
Yeah.
know how to reach more women. You're going to X, Y, and Z,
Yeah.
because that's what's happened.
That's right.
But in the meantime, he's also going to bring people back to you.
Wow.
And this lady, 2015, she pushed me so far out of my comfort zone because God knew my vision.
Yeah.
He knew that one day I needed and wanted to stand up in front of women. It's different to speak to you here.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother level to have people in your face right there, sitting in a chair,
Yeah.
just listening.
Yeah, you didn't know him.
I didn't know, but I did not know that you asking me that day to speak was my first seed planted.
I had no idea.
I didn't
Oh my
either.
gosh. Wow.
Into this past Saturday's
Wow.
first conference.
And the timing, like,
That you're back.
yes.
Stop.
I didn't know you were doing this.
Stop.
I just
This
I didn't
month,
get
I
healthy.
This month I started, because every month I build on it. You guys know I build on it each month. I always, God keeps putting surprises and goals and just all this stuff on my heart to share with you guys. And he's like, July's the month. Tasha just came back.
Wow. And on my end, what I'm hearing is it's time to surrender to the shift, to become who I called you to be. But in order to do that, you're going to need the right connection. Build your team. And so the team, sometimes people think team is, I got to go out and hire people. I got to go do this. It's not that.
It's who you surround yourself with.
Yeah, it's your support circle. That's what it is. It's your support circle. And we need people in our support circle that know more than we do. And so in my case, to get healthy, I needed to surround myself with somebody who knew more than I did in this area. And I surrendered to her gift so that I could be blessed and it be reciprocal.
And it is.
Yeah.
It is full circle.
Yeah.
So like Tasha said, we've got to go back to the basics.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can have a vision, you can have a dream, you can have a goal for what you want your body to look like and this health and wellness journey to look like.
Right.
Don't lose dreaming, don't lose that vision. But know that if it takes a while, know that if the road is bumpy, know that if you like get amazing results, but meaning like you lose weight, but then we gain it back. Like I said on the video yesterday, we've got clean slate, you guys. I don't want anybody to count calories. I don't want anybody to count proteins. If you're not eating breakfast consistently and you're not drinking water consistently and you're not doing the things, the basics, if you have let Coke creep back into your lifestyle, into your body, if you have let processed foods creep back into your body, we've got to go back to the basics. And you guys, a lot of you, I got to find my scribble paper from last night. If you don't go back to the basics, I'm just telling you, it's going to stay muddy and it's going to stay looking just like this, a hot mess. And if it continues looking like a hot mess here, I know you guys don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe Tasha can catch you guys up. But this list here is exactly the horrible madness that's just going to continue in your life. And that's not the vision that God has for you.
You shared last night, just so y'all know what she's talking about, is when we allow things to come back into our life that we should eliminate, the stuff that you talked about, the mood swings, the depression,
the emptiness, the loneliness, the no sleep, the inflammation.
Oh my gosh, the cancer.
When we start
the
eating,
diseases.
that's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like when I saw that side by side, I was like, oh my gosh, because I'm not gonna lie, I had a fetish with Starbucks. Like Starbucks was my thing. Like I needed, that was my fix. Or the portions, like it would be nothing to get a plate and just not just load it up and then go back for seconds.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Right.
And so looking at all that, I'm like, wow, how am I fueling myself? And do I expect this to last if I'm going to be this person that I'm supposed to become, that is the visionary, helping other people? You know,
if you're feeling like, if you're eating like this and feeling like this,
like there's a direct correlation between our energy, between our even distractions. Like sometimes when I was in this, and I'm not saying I've arrived, because I'm still a work in progress, but I was like, wow, why am I procrastinating on things, or why am I so confused about my clarity and all this? A lot of it was a direct correlation to what I was fueling my body or not fueling my body, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then the water thing, I was like, man, that's like, it's a habit now, but it wasn't always.
So you guys, we got to make sure that good habits that we created and we got rid of bad habits, we really need to focus on the bad habits coming back in. We need to pay attention to triggers that cause bad habits. Immediately, you need to address it. You do not need to dismiss it. That's not good. That's a downward spiral. A lot of you have already written your list like I asked you to, with your name on the top, and share it with me. Thank you so much for those that are being transparent and honest, not only with me, but with yourself. Because if you can't be honest with yourself, I can't help you. I said this last night. I can't take you down the road to where you see your vision and on this, health journey. But it's got to start from the inside out. And these foods here is not what we want on the inside of our bodies. It's not what's going to get us down the road. It's not what's going to feed our heart and soul. And to be honest with you, Tasha, you just said it. It's not going to, like, I can't fuel my body with these foods, because I'm not able to do what I do for you guys on the level that I do it at. On the energy level that I do it at, on the positive level that I do it at, on the exterior level, that I can't do that. And just because that's not your platform doesn't mean that you don't want to do it for yourself. You want to be an awesome mom. You want to be an awesome wife. You want to be an awesome friend. You want to be an awesome sister. You want to be an amazing coworker. You want to be the best. You can strive to be the best. We're not always going to reach and achieve the best, but you can fight your way there and learn something along the journey. You've got to grow from this. And if you're not going to grow,
what's the point?
What's the point? You're not in tune.
The thing I like about NShape 2 Casie is that you're not putting us on a diet.
No.
It's not about you're on this restrictive diet and you can have this, you can't have this. It's about what is going to fuel you to achieve your goals. And I love that you make it a unique journey for us. Everybody's not on the same, like, just because the person next to me is doing this doesn't mean I have to do this. And I also love, not only is it a diverse group, I'm not talking about just in color, I'm talking about all shapes and sizes. Ages. Yes, I love that, because when I walk into NShape, I feel like I belong.
Thank you.
And that's because you set the atmosphere. And that's why I had to come back to you.
Thank you.
And I'm not saying anything about anybody else.
And I'm grateful that God shoved her back with the rules of NShape. Because I'm sure I could have reached out to Tasha, and you guys be ready, because this sweet little nugget of joy is going to be a speaker here soon at one of the health and wellness conferences. I say that, she really hasn't said yes yet, but I'm assuming she will. So
honored.
This was just a taste of the knowledge and the growth and the love and the passion that this lady, this friend, a mentor of mine, that saw something in me. You saw something in me that I didn't even know was in me. God knew, but thank you for seeing something in me.
Can I just share this too? Because it goes to the supporting women, that we can't be afraid as women to open the door for other women. You know, like we said before, we are all unique. We are all built different in so many ways, and we need the differences. That's what makes life so amazing. But when God gives us a vision, we know it's from God because it's bigger than us, but it's also about others. It's about helping others, opening doors for others. Tyler Perry just did an amazing speech that it's been going around on Facebook when he says, I forgot the exact words. I don't want to mess it up. Just look it up. But in a nutshell, help others. And sometimes we can look at women like you or me, Casie, and think, well, they're strong. They don't need help. But we all need help.
We all need help, and we all need each other.
That's right. That's right.
Without a doubt.
That's right. And so if you have a thought that says, hey, I want to bless somebody with this, or hey, I'm thinking about, do it. That chances are that's God. Because here's the thing, the devil's not going to tell you to bless someone.
Come on. No. As a matter of fact, he's not going to put it on your heart to go bless someone or thank someone or tell them they're pretty or you're doing a great job and I can see results in you and thank you for sharing that recipe and just you're exactly right. You guys, who loves Tasha Sky?
Who loves Casie
Who
Sky?
loves Tasha Sky? We are sisters to the end. Tasha, thank you so much for your time because I know you're as busy as I am. Thank you for your knowledge. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for just being you. You guys get ready. 5 to 6 a.m. class is the class Tasha's in. If you want more, see more, hear more, you want to leave them with any quote to put in their journal that may just kind of come out of your heart or just one final thought to the health and wellness group. You know where you're at. You know where most of these women are. This is your second month. You've seen their struggles, you've seen their wins, where you know the month vision. We're coming out of perfectly imperfect. What do you want to leave them with, Tasha?
I always tell people, don't suffer in silence. Like where you are weak, somebody is strong. And you may not have the strength, but their strength can compensate for your weakness. And case in point with Casie, for me, I was weak in the health area. So I needed somebody that was strong, that I could connect with, that wasn't going to judge me or anything, but just take me by the hand and say, girl, come on. But give me some tough love when I needed to at the same time. So don't suffer in silence because we were wired for connection. And the most powerful thing you can do is connect with other women and other people, not just women, but men too. But that's the most powerful thing you can do because together we're better.
I love it. Don't suffer in silence, you guys. Reach out to someone. There's always someone to talk about.
That's right.
Your story is your story. Don't be ashamed of it. Don't be afraid to share it.
That's right.
Keep your heart open. Know your circle. Trust your circle. Keep your circle small. It doesn't have to be big.
That's right. That's right.
Pray about it and know the ones around you are the ones that are supposed to be surrounded by you.
That's right. That's
Don't
right.
suffer in silence. That's a good one. Thank you, Tasha.
Thank you, Kate.
Love you.
I love you, girl. Thank you.